Hello students, in our yesterday's lecture we had learnt about the internal sources of recruitment. Today we will be talking about external sources of recruitment. Earlier also we had learnt that when we say recruitment means it is a process of searching as well as stimulating the prospective employees to apply for jobs in the organization. And when such recruitment is done from within the organization, from amongst the existing employees who are already working, which may be in the form of promotion or in the form of transfer, that is what is called internal source, about which we learned detailed yesterday. Today, we will be learning about the various external sources of recruitment. When we say external, that means the recruitment takes place from outside the organization. Outside the organization. So recruitment has two sources, internal and external. When it is from within the organization, that is inside the organization, it is called internal source. When the recruitment takes place from outside the organization, it is called external source of recruitment. Now, what are the various external sources? There are 10 important external sources about which we are going to talk today. But before that, I need to just make it very clear that in the exams, from this part, many questions, case study based questions is asked. The case study will be given and you will have to identify which source of recruitment has been followed in the above case. So if you identify the source properly, then only you will be able to answer the related questions which is there. So case study based question always has related questions. So first part is identification of the source, then second part is related with that question which is already attempted in the first part. So if the first part becomes wrong, then there will always be a chance that the related questions will not be correct. So you have to understand, and while we will be talking about these sources of recruitment, we will be trying to understand the sources, keeping in mind the suitability. Which source should be, you may say, adopted or selected by the organization, in what conditions and in what situations, that has to be understood. So first of all, let us start with, I told you there are 10 sources. First is direct recruitment. Now the name clearly suggests direct recruitment means there is no much formality which is done, but this kind of recruitment, how it takes place and for what type of personnels such type of recruitment is done in the organization, that we are going to understand. So first of all, we have to understand that for direct recruitment can only be done in case the vacancy lies of unskilled and semi-skilled workers. It is for the workers class, it is not for the managerial class, first of all. And that too for unskilled and semi-skilled. And why it is required? Because sometimes what happens when the permanent workers are absent in the organization, the vacancy arises, but that vacancy is for the time when the permanent workers are not there. So it is a casual vacancy which arises, which has to be filled for some time so that the work can be continued. And it is related with that kind of work which is either unskilled or semi-skilled, so that direct recruitment is possible. Also, sometimes when there is rush of work, when there is need for more workers, especially in times of season, we see that when the production has to be enhanced immediately and there is need for more workers to be hired, and there is not much skill and efficiency required in carrying out the work, then there is always a possibility that direct recruitment can be done. So always you have to understand that this type of recruitment, it is for semi skilled and unskilled work. Also, it is for the temporary period, because the casual vacancy arises, that is the temporary, and that is why those who are hired, they are hired as casual workers and they are paid remuneration on daily basis. On daily basis they are paid. They are not permanent workers of the organization. We also see that such type of recruitment, whenever it has to happen in any organization, for that a notice has to be displayed on the notice board of the organization, and that notice may be on the main gate of the organization, so that the information can be spread. And on a stipulated date, we see that notice gives information about the job vacancy which is lying in the organization for a certain period of time, and the date and the time of selection, that is also mentioned in that, so that more and more workers, they can certainly come on the stipulated date when the on the spot selection takes place. From out of those who come, we see that as per the requirement of the organization, on the spot selection takes place for filling the casual vacancies which arises in the organization. So to identify, whenever the question comes in the exam, always some key words are given in the case study, so that you are able to identify which external source of recruitment it is. So when it will be related with direct recruitment, there are so many hints. On the spot selection is there, it is basically for unskilled and semi-skilled workers. Casual vacancy is there. So these are some of the hints which can help you identify the source, this source related with external source of recruitment. Now, after direct recruitment, the second is casual collar. Now, many reputed organizations, I have written here, they keep database of unsolicited applicants. At times, if the vacancy arises in the organization, earlier it may have vacancy must have you may say, there might be positions lying vacant in the organization for which many candidates must have applied, and there might be a possibility in the organization that some of the candidates, they were uncalled and they are the unsolicited applicants. So biodata of all those unsolicited applicants, they are kept in the database of the organization, so that when the vacancy once again arises in the organization, through that database, the list can be prepared and the screening can be done of those candidates who can be called directly for filling the post which arises. So in this way, we see that it certainly is advantageous, because it reduces much cost of the organization and also the time spent in order to find the right type of candidate. So it is always useful. For example, if the vacancy of the teacher is to be filled, the advertisement might earlier be done to fill the vacancy, and many applications, if arrived in the organization and many applicants were uncalled, they may be called later when the vacancy once again arises, and that is what is called casual collar. So unsolicited applicants, they are screened out and they are called and the vacant position is filled in this manner. Now third is advertisement. Now advertisement is considered as the most common and also the most popular form or the source of recruitment. But advertisement is of two types. One is advertisement from print media, and there is also advertisement on TV, that is electronic media. So recruitment, first of all, we are talking about advertisement through print media. When we say print media, it includes newspapers or journals. And print media, advertisement through print media is generally used when wider choice is required. Very, very important. Wider choice is required, and most of the senior positions of the industry and commerce is to be filled. Senior positions. We have to keep this in mind. Wider choice and senior positions of industry and commerce is to be filled. Then we see that advertisement in print media can be used. Its advantage is that organization can provide detailed information about the job, and also the organization gets to select from the wider range of candidates, because advertisement is one such source through which the information reaches to you may say widespread areas. And if it reaches to widespread areas, there is always a possibility that more number of candidates would apply for the job which is to be filled. So always the organization gets the chance to select or choose from the wider range of candidates. But it also suffers from one disadvantage, and that disadvantage is that there may be the flood of response many times of those candidates who are unsuitable. So unsuitable candidates may also apply, and once they apply, it has to be properly screened out before the final selection has to be made. So that becomes a major disadvantage. Now next is employment exchange. Now employment exchanges, they are mainly managed by the government. It is regarded as good source of recruitment for unskilled and skilled operative jobs, especially like clerks, the office jobs type of work has to be filled, then it is useful. Now we see that employment exchanges, they maintain the database of the job seekers who are in search of employment. And if they are in search of employment, we see that basically it can be a good source for operative jobs. Operative jobs are mainly unskilled or skilled. But in some cases, we see that compulsory notification of to employment exchange is required by law. The law makes it compulsory that the notification has to be given to the employment exchange in order to fill the vacancy. Its disadvantage is that its records are not up to date, and candidates referred by them may not be found suitable. So government doesn't keep on updating its record, although it maintains the employment exchanges, and sometimes the recommendation which it gives, that is also not suitable, and it becomes difficult to trust such types of exchanges. Then comes placement agencies and management consultant firms. Placement agencies, they compile biodata of the job seekers and recommend to organizations who are in search of suitable candidates, and for that they charge some fees always they charge some fees. Basically, we see that these placement agencies, they are useful source of recruitment in technical and professional areas, and they help in hiring top level executives, especially who need change of the organization. There are sometimes we see that top level executives are in search of changeover, so they can contact the placement agencies, and placement agencies can suggest them suitable organizations where they can certainly bring the change which they are in need for, which they are looking for. Nowadays we see that there are also online placement agencies which is doing this work, like Naukri.com, JobMonster.com. These are some of the online agencies which is doing this work. Apart from this, there is also management consultant firms, and management consultant firms, they fill middle and top level management vacancies in the organization. Just keep this in mind, middle and top level. If it arises in the organization, management consultant firms are useful source through which it can be filled. It helps the organization to recruit technical, managerial and professional personals. They also maintain database of the job seekers, and especially those job seekers who require job and who are of the technical background, or they have managerial degree, or they are professionals. For them, such types of management consultant firms are very useful, and whatever database they have, they forward it to the organizations. Sometimes on behalf of the organizations, they also advertise so that the right kind of candidate can approach them for the job which the organization is looking for. So in this way we see that placement agencies and management consultant firms, they are also useful source, but especially in the area of technical, managerial and professional you may say personals when needed in the organization. After this, another source is campus recruitment. From the campuses itself, the organizations, they pick the students, and that is why there is close liaising by the business firms, between the business firms and the educational institutions. Especially we see that it is also important in technical, professional and managerial jobs. Many reputed organizations, they coordinate with universities, vocational schools, management institutions, and they coordinate to see that directly they get the right kind of candidate they are looking for. Sometimes they also send their human resource manager to visit these institutes. From there they can select the you may say proper suitable candidate directly, and in this way we see that these campus recruitments, it happens, and there is a regular recruitment process which takes place in many of such types of professional and technical institutes. We also have seen that whenever the admission to such types of managerial, professional or technical institutes is taken up by any of the candidate, he certainly sees the placement potential of that institute. If the placement potential is 100%, preference is always given to such kind of educational institutions, and that is why educational institutions and organizations, they have strong licensing, so that as soon as the education is complete, a person may directly be called for joining the job. So in this way it is very useful. Seventh point is recommendation of existing employees. Sometimes the job vacancy which lies in the organization can also be filled on the recommendation of the existing employees who are working in the organization. And such types of you may say recommendations are valuable, you may say. Why? Because the existing employees recommend mainly the friends or the relatives whom he knows very well. So the background and you may say the history of a person, that is authentic, and the organization can trust such people and certainly give direct appointment to on the recommendation of the existing employees whom he trusts, and that is always considered to be a very good source through which some of the posts of the organization can be filled. So for this, if the recommendation is there, a simple screening can be organized by the organization, and through that screening on the recommendation of the existing employees, the posts can easily be filled. Then we move on to labor contractor. This is eighth source, an external source. Labor contractors, you have to understand that they are themselves the employees of the organization. And once they are working as employees of the organization and the organization is in need of hiring people in the organization, then labor contractors always come as a useful source, because they are those people under whom many kinds of laborers are in their contact. So in organizations which require unskilled workers on very short notice, very very important, unskilled workers on very short notice, labor contractors can be a useful source, because under them are so many workers, and if the labor contractor wishes, he can certainly help the organization to get those workers immediately who can certainly join the organization at very short notice. But that is basically for unskilled workers who can basically be engaged in industrial work or factory work or plantation work, for example in construction work, road construction, building construction. For them, labor contractor can be a useful source. But there is also one disadvantage of this type of source of recruitment, that if by chance the labor contractor leaves the organization, those workers who have been hired by the organization and they are the workers of, in a way, of the labor contractors, they will also leave along with him. So in that case, it will be a major drawback or the disadvantage for the organization. So very cautiously it has to be done. Then comes advertisement on TV. We had learned earlier, advertisement through print media, that means newspaper and journals, that is press. Advertisement on TV, that is basically on the business channels. We see that the posts which lie vacant in the organization, for that the advertisement is done, and in that advertisement the detailed information of the job which is existing in the organization for which the vacancy is there, that is advertised along with the detailed profile of the organization, and also the websites that is provided, which the job seeker can directly apply through that website, and the information can electronically be you may say received by the organization, and the organization can easily make the recruitment of the required personnel. So advertisement on TV, that is also becoming very popular nowadays. We can see that many of the job vacancies, they are advertised directly on TV, so that the information can also be spread to wide areas and more people can apply for the job. And the last is web publishing. We have seen web publishing is also related with internet. There are so many websites which are specifically designed for job placements, like Naukri.com, JobMonster.com, and whenever you approach such types of websites or click to such types of websites, the information related with the vacancies which lies anywhere in any organization, that is updated on such types of websites, and the job seeker can directly apply through that website. So it is both useful to the organization and also to the job seeker, and in this way the suitable candidate can be searched for. So these were the 10 different types of external sources of recruitment which an organization can use for you may say hiring people, or for filling up the vacant posts which lies in the organization, and see that right kind of people they join the organization and they fill the vacant posts. So with this we have completed the external sources of recruitment. There are certain advantages and disadvantages of external sources which we will be talking in our next lecture. Till then, thank you all of you.